Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's Richie from Boston. Today is the 25th of December, 2018. It's Saturnalia. It's an ancient pagan holiday that somebody in the Roman Catholic Church tricked all their flock into believing was the day that Jesus Christ was conceived. When God supernaturally impregnated a virgin and created Jesus Christ and allowed God to come here, live among us in the mortal form, and then be betrayed, and then brutally tortured, and then killed, only to burst through the Shroud of Turin with so much power it left an impression of his entire body, scars and all, on the linen. That happened. I met one of the guys that was at the Vatican taking photos of the Shroud of Turin. I believe his name is Sebastian. He looks like he was in the Def Leppard band, but he's a photographer. I met him in Tennessee when I went down and did security for Anthony Patch for free on my own dime. Anthony. At any rate, I just finished watching supposedly Shelley's latest upload of the 2 fire captains that have come forward and explained and shown tons of photographs of things that can only be explained as directed energy. That's what these guys are saying. That's what these guys that have fought wildfires in California for over 20 years have come out, which takes an incredible amount of balls, because you know if somebody gets that sent to their inbox, those guys are going to have a bad day. So those 2 guys should be supported and held up as high as possibly can. And sadly, people are forgetting about this already. That entire thing, California has been the testing ground for HAARP, chemtrails. Supposedly Shelley just texted me right now as I'm making this, so that's kind of funny. California has been the testing ground for HAARP, chemtrails, social engineering, and now directed energy weapons. We've got directed energy weapons that can labels. They could nail me right now while I'm driving. And the thing is, the 2 firemen that supposedly Shelley's interviewed, and Jamie from A Plain Truth, they've got pictures of holes going through the hoods of cars, straight through the engine block to the ground. Yeah, a wildfire doesn't do that whatsoever at all. But if you go to the directed energy website, I think it's Northrop Grumman, one of the 2. It's a link, it's up in one of my videos. It says directed energy. The exact thing that they show is a disabled vehicle where they blew a hole through the hood, through the engine, to the ground. They don't have to hide it. They don't have to hide it. The elites, the Rockefellers, the Rothschilds, everybody that is considered an illuminated one has been quoted in one magazine, one news clip or another, talking about there's too many people on the planet, we need to get rid of them. As a matter of fact, if I could be reincarnated as a virus that would wipe out humanity, that would be fine with me. Those words have been said. I don't understand what it's going to possibly take, and I guess I have a really short memory, because just like you, I'm exposed to the aluminum that we're breathing, the fluoride in the water, the genetically modified food, even when you buy organic. So I have the memory of a field mouse, and I have the attention span of a small goldfish. So even doing this, I forget. But I'm doing this off the top of my head right now. You see this? See this? There's no studio here. I'm driving in my truck. This isn't my work truck. It's my truck. Okay? So get that straight. You know who I'm talking to. These people are attacking America. The Economist cover was black for a reason. And then magically, all of a sudden, Department of Homeland Security comes out and tells people to prep for 6 months without power. 6 months without power? 6 hours without power in Detroit, in New York City, in Boston, in Compton, down in Texas. It's a wrap. 6 hours, 6 months. Do you know how to survive? Do you know how to make a fire without a book of matches or a Bic lighter? Do you know how to eat if you have to eat something that's running through the woods or swimming in the water or out of a dumpster? Do you have the ability to sustain yourself if for right now, I'm in Maine because it's Christmas, so I'm driving around aimlessly because I don't want to be around any of these people. I don't want to ruin their little thing. I already tried to wake everyone that actually mattered to me. And you know what they did? They talked about me when I left the room. My entire family. Junior thinks they're spraying the sky. What an idiot. But Junior's also the one that every single solitary one of them comes to when they need anything fixed, refinished, rebuilt, or repaired. Do you see what I'm saying? And if anybody has a problem with another human where politics and talking don't work, well, I come in pretty handy there too. I'm a pretty big dude. Just saying. I tried waking these people up. So if they want to sit around and do the appearance thing, let's all have dinner together with family members that we talk about as soon as they leave the room. I ain't down with that. And I'm not going to stand around and try to explain to them any of this shit. I don't want to hear about sports. I don't want to hear about Trump. I don't want to hear about the news. I don't want to hear it. So, last Christmas, you did this with me. This Christmas, you're doing this with me. You can't wake everybody up. It just isn't going to work. For most of you, you'll relate to this. When we were kids, when you met somebody that didn't smoke pot, to me, yeah, that's no good. You could tell. You could tell if they'd be receptive to other things. People that don't even realize that they're playing tic-tac-toe in the sky, they're not going to hear anything else. They're not going to hear about 9/11. They've been listening to the mainstream media for the past 18 years explain how 9/11 was obviously done by a guy on dialysis in a cave on a satellite phone where a bunch of airplanes were taken over by guys with box cutters. Even though all the airplanes, if you look at the passenger manifesto, the people that were on it, unlike the hijackers, because none of them were actually listed on the planes, but that doesn't bother anybody. Almost all the people on the planes were military, Army, Navy, CIA, whatever. The people on the planes that day were people that would have made 9/11 a non-doable event. So fortunately, they all died. Just like all the FBI agents and everything else. The good FBI agents were all on the other side of the country. Planes ain't flying. They had it. They locked it down. If you're going to rob a bank and you've worked at the bank for 20 years and designed the security system for the bank, hell yes, you can get away with it. Same thing with the government. Same thing with the government. The people that put everything in motion to keep us from getting attacked and from keeping anybody that did attack from getting caught, these guys designed the entire system. Rex 84, all of this shit, all of it. People need to understand. I guess that's my main point. People need to understand. California was attacked. People are coming out. People that do know are coming out. It seems like everyone else has moved on. You think it's a complete, sheer, total coincidence that all of a sudden in Massachusetts, gas mains explode and an entire neighborhood just blows up? That happened. Blame it on the utility. What was the name of the utility company? Columbia Gas Company. I was a plumber since I was 16. I've done high pressure gas. I've done regular residential gas. I've done all sorts of gas piping. It's no big deal. You don't need to be a rocket scientist. But you don't leave a high pressure. The only thing you're worried about working on high pressure gas is making sure that when you're done, the high pressure gas is no longer going out at high pressure. One thing. And there's a bunch of fail safes in place. All those houses exploded. It was a battle zone. And then 2 months later, California catches on fire. Who they blame it on? Utility. That ain't a coincidence. That's called a beta test. Testing. They do this shit and then they watch our reaction on social media. They watch me. They watch A Plain Truth. They watch Dabu. They watch Face Like the Sun. They watch all of us. And then they watch you. So what are these people going to do? There are a bunch of people that are awake. We've got them all right here. We're monitoring them 24/7. They're making truth videos that are allowing us to monitor the people that would ever be a problem. It's a perfect system. It's a perfect system. They're watching you. I'm dead. I'm dead. Something will happen to me. I'll end up in prison. I'll end up murdered. Something horrific will happen. It is what it is. I'm well aware of it. They've made themselves known. Nicholson, they made themselves known to him. Him and I never spoke about it, but then when we finally did, it turns out the same shit was happening to us. You get too close, weird things start happening. Invisible things start messing with you physically. Remember when I was making a video once, twice a week, because every time you turned around, another holistic doctor was dying? And then Erin Elizabeth was getting, her cell phone was telling her she was going to die of cancer? Remember that? That was real. My cell phone wasn't messing with me, not that I know of, but something was, to the point where I was fleeing my own house at 1:30 in the morning, going to Mrs. RFB's house, setting off her alarm at 1:30 in the morning, because I was so discombobulated and disconcerted. I ended up breaking a bone in my foot. I mean, it's just, from an unseen entity, they can do that. And it's exactly what they're doing in California. It's just a test. These two firefighters, these two fire captains have shown video where you can see clearly that it was microwave weapons. In the military, if you want to nail somebody with a smart bomb, you have somebody in Marine Recon or you have a Special Forces guy on the ground. If you want to blow up a building that's 2 miles away, you have a guy on the ground point a laser at it. Once the subject is painted, the tank, the building, the troops, whatever, has the laser on it, the air can strike it. It's locked on, boom. That's what smart meters are. Before these fires happen, these smart meters that they're jamming down your throat and up your ass, they light up the ones that they want and the other ones they don't. The directed energy weapons sense the smart meters and smoke just that area. These guys are showing entire housing projects by themselves in cul-de-sacs burning to the ground and then burning the trees a little bit. It's like singeing the trees. This is supposed to be a forest fire. The trees should burn and then the houses catch. It's the exact opposite. This is directed energy. This is microwave technology. This isn't our government. This isn't North Korea. This isn't China. All the governments, all the countries, it's all, after 9/11, everything's been whittled down. You're either with us or against us. We don't have a government. We have a daily television show that we watch that people think is politics. Nothing more, nothing less. Our president is a guy with a big, wacky orange hairdo that's a 70-plus-year-old reality show star billionaire. He can't change anything. He can't do anything. Running for president simply opens him and his entire family up to an entirely different level of ridicule. He's making, like, the amount of money you get paid to be the president compared to what he's already got. It's like, it's laughable. That's all to keep people like my father, everybody else that's really, they grew up watching the moon landing and everything else, Walter Cronkite, they believe television's legit. Even though television's been completely bought out by corporations. General Electric owns a big piece of what you see on TV. General Electric makes war. Oh, they make fridges and microwaves. Yeah. They make jet engines, bombs, and other things to kill people. And with the crumbs left over, they make refrigerators and shit, because why not? That's how it works. FYI. I have no idea where I am. Bentley Saloon. No idea. I just been driving. Champion Auto Body. Where the hell am I? Red Apple Campground. Antiques by the Sea. Arundel. I'm in Arundel, Maine. I've been driving. I've been talking too, huh? I can talk, boy. Funny thing is if you met me in real life, you realize that I don't talk. I talk when I have something to say. Other than that, is what it is. At any rate, Richie from Boston, I hope you guys are having a good day. I hope nothing calamitous occurs. But I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it. Military choppers drilling. Our military trains as they fight. If they're flying in super tight formation, incredibly low over heavily populated cities, up and down the East Coast from Maine to Florida, something's up. And they're not spraying today either, which is just freaking me out. But they know that if too many of us talk about this, if they stop spraying for a couple of days, anybody that may have potentially woke up will go, oh, those guys are just full of shit. Look at the sky. Oh, come on, come on. It's winter. It's winter. There's no sun in the winter. Yeah. At any rate, like, share, subscribe, or don't. I'm out.